Because there is victory. Thank you for your support. Thank you for coming and supporting me. It's very important. I know it was heated at home yesterday. My daughter wrote a lot of emotional things. But thank God everything is fine. Glory to God. We will talk with you. So does anyone have
questions?
Guys. And we will talk. I even have a pen here with a piece of paper.
Thank you.
Support is always heard, but the ring, your own corner. I listen more attentively because support comes in different forms. When they support you, when they start shouting, you can get emotional. Whenever you decide to take action and choose to throw a powerful punch, you must realize it might come back at you from somewhere completely unexpected. I remain as intensely focused as I possibly can on every single thing that is happening inside the ring. However, I still hear absolutely everything that happens outside the ring. And Katerina, do you hear? I hear yes. Well, Katerina is obvious. The guy is very focused, good, he prepared well. When we look at it from the perspective of carefully examining and analyzing this fight, there was absolutely no information about him. How he would act, what he would do. That is, in kickboxing is one thing. He uses both hands and legs. But in boxing, he only has one fight, and even then, just a couple of rounds. And there was no information at all to analyze. But sometimes that's how it is. What am I going to tell you? You know it all yourselves, because sometimes, for the most part, we did the work without any reconnaissance. And it turned out well, thank God. Same thing here. They gave some people a platform to communicate. You know, it's like my feeling when you're doing something at the top for many years, doing some kind of work. Everyone thinks that Usyk, of course, is the world champion. He'll come out now and win in the first round. No, the guy has very good focus, he had it, and his coach is quite smart. That's Tyson Fury's uncle, Peter Fury. He's the very coach who prepared Tyson Fury for the fight against Vladimir Klitschko. Yes, a smart mathematician, a strategist. Always, you see, you couldn't understand what he was going to do, what moves, everything. But as I said, the final result, there's a victory for us, and we are truly grateful for that. So we'll go over it with the team. Everything's in order. There's a fundamental difference in that. You know, with a boxer, you expect certain actions because you use both your right and left hand and movement. However, in this particular setting, you perform your tasks according to exactly what you are observing right now at this very specific point in time. Da and desirsi. And I'll say that before we prepare, we have an analytical team that breaks down the fights. That is, there's a video compilation that we constantly watch and work out certain combinations for our opponents. And he's got a remarkably durable and solid chin. Yes, he can certainly take a very heavy punch. In the boxing community, we often say, he's got a layer of armor like that. It's about 4 fingers thick and it's fine. You hit him and he's like, his eyes, whoosh, then right back in place. Boom, and they're right back where they should be. It's all good, the guy can take it. I don't remember if it was the 3rd round or which one, but even though we were taped up, everything was fine. But then I got hit from above, maybe in the solar plexus or somewhere, and I really felt it in my arm. I do not make any excuses for myself at all, and that is the truth. I wasn't feeling well. Thank God I was actually feeling fine, but I just needed to crack that code. And it happened. In the 11th round, I got hit from below.
It hit him directly in the stomach hard.
It tore me up a little bit. In the 1st round,
You already rocked him, and in another round he decided.
from the 1st, 2nd round, yeah, he landed a shot. He
Was limited because we were both pressing and exchanging blows. A stunner for half a round, and then he starts up again. Well, it was tough. He was small.
No 2 fights are ever the same. I don't remember which round it was, but in the last 3, I started taking some shots to feel where he hits, how he hits, so he would tire himself out a bit. Yeah, so here he throws from the right, but not from the left, so I took a few punches to figure that out so that later I could counter. That's what I was going for. Yeah. Thank you so much for watching this video today. You are completely in control of the entire situation, but the people standing around you simply don't understand what's happening. They're feeling very nervous. It is just like when you go out to your position and do something specific. You are in total control, but someone from the outside is watching you and thinking to themselves, damn, what is going on right now? This is just absolutely insane. I really appreciate your time and hope this perspective helps you understand the dynamic better. The experience is different for everyone. We talk, and a close friend of mine says to me, listen, the very first time that I ever went out on a combat assault, I had a bad case of diarrhea and everything else. And I said, yeah, that same thing happens to all of us as well. It happens to athletes as well. The most important thing is that if you keep holding on to and carrying this fear like, that's it, I'm scared and that's all. You know, when the noradrenaline really kicks in and that's it, you just freeze. I remember when I was a kid, about 16 or 17 years old, and in my neighborhood in Simferopol, a guy pulled out a knife. I was like, I pressed, I look, and I just froze. I don't know, for a few seconds I was like click, click, then whoosh, whoosh, step back. Then I thought, no, listen, so I grabbed a broom and was like, come here. You know, I went bam, 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 and there was a bottle standing there, so I threw the bottle at him. Well, it's the street, what are you going to do with your bare hands? He'll just swing and that's it. But thankfully it turned out okay. I think...
Now it's playing.
Look, I've been thinking about this quite a bit, and it's just that I wanted to check in with you. Would you honestly prefer to be informed about the final decision at the exact moment when the formal initiation process actually begins to happen? Or would you rather wait until a later time to find out all the specific details? They are put in the ring so that the person takes as little damage as possible. This is the person who makes the decision. He sees from the outside, he doesn't respond, he closed himself off in a tight block and waits. 1, 2, 3 hits. There are situations in the ring when they didn't stop, and the guy leaves the ring. Feeling dizzy, he collapses. They rush him to the hospital, but he dies just a few hours later. Right here. The sheer number of heavy blows delivered just accumulates, and at some specific point in time, it can just suddenly happen, and that's it. So, you know, when we are talking about the difficulty of challenging something like that right there, what do you want to challenge? How are we going to go back tomorrow? Or yesterday? We can't go back to either one. It has been 2 full days. And while we are on the subject, what I was thinking about, not like I always am, we tend to make our judgments based on everything that we have witnessed before and what we see now. In my personal psychological profile, there is one specific and crucial point. It is always much better to secure a victory in an unattractive way than it is to lose beautifully. Well, somewhere something didn't work out some moment. I didn't lose my composure. Losing your composure is when you get hit and you lose focus. Regarding what happened there, it is totally fine and normal. Considering that, after all, we simply weren't playing in the UEFA tournament. That's the situation. No, that's just the style, that's how it is. No, it's not that I gave up. I feel the distance, I feel that I'm defending myself. That's one of the... Yes, all my life. When you see that an athlete is constantly focused, their hands are higher because at any moment... But when you feel that the situation is such that you can quickly move away on your feet or defend yourself, that's... When I was boxing as an amateur, I generally kept my hands down. Sometimes it was all about reflexes. Of course, now that I'm 39, things are a bit different. You have to keep them higher. But no, actually, it is not because they are feeling tired or anything else like that. No, everything works differently now. Agit Kabayel? An incredible guy. Tough, but we'll talk about everything. The team will discuss it, the organizers too, and we'll decide how to move forward. Turki Al-Sheikh suggested, let's have the rematch over in Holland. I said, organize it, give me time to recover, time to prepare, and let's go. Why not?
Hey brother, it's locking in and nothing bounced off of it.
Yes, there was an elbow too, yes. Well, when you are looking at shots to the body, those specific strikes that land much lower, sometimes even professional coaches will tell you to aim right for the belt line or even lower somewhere on the leg, specifically to stop the opponent's movement. Because if you manage to hit the break just once, or land a solid blow to the side just once, it can change everything. The movement slows down a bit, and that's it. Those particular shots that landed much lower, you could definitely feel them, Ichi. But there was also an elbow, or something else. It was very noticeable, and you certainly did feel it. But on the other hand, it's a fight! I wouldn't say it's exceptionally difficult, but psychologically, you have to carry a heavy burden. Responsibility. It's greater than just usual. Because he truly has absolutely nothing left to lose, he comes out and, on the contrary, even though he ultimately lost the match, at this very moment, many seasoned experts, the mainstream media, and just about everyone else are writing, a bright new star has been born. It is quite a remarkable turn of events for him. I really have to give this guy the credit he deserves. We certainly knew from the start it wouldn't be a walk in the park or anything like that. But we're diligently focusing our efforts on it psychologically, yes, and you have a much more of sort of a different perspective here. It's not tension, but rather a significant amount of pressure coming from the outside. I take a philosophical approach. I head out, I do my own thing, and that is really all there is to it. It happens, especially when, I understand where my family is, where my kids are, my 2 daughters, and what's going on. No matter how much you try, you still hear it when the guys talk among themselves, when I go out. A shell landed, this and that happened. As a person, well, you'd have to be an idiot not to react. And you just go drooling and keep going. And I completely understand that, you have 2 young daughters waiting at home. My daughter very quickly transferred every single thing over to her mobile phone. Then she went straight down to the basement and carefully checked everything there. You really have to work hard on this. You absolutely need to set all of your personal emotions aside for now. And then, only when you have finally done everything required, you can safely put them back in your bag or inside your pocket. And if you don't need them, you just leave them and move on.
So, tell me, did any of these hospitals actually call you back?
Go on.
He was practicing the judge's code, which was based on... It was such an incredible feeling. So, when I was going there, just to watch and to see exactly how he works, and it was really all about that gut feeling.
I don't think about it at all. The scorecards? No, I don't think about the scorecards. I can't be competent because I'm not a judge. If I were watching this fight from the outside, that would be one thing. I was standing right there in the center of the boxing ring and trying to figure out how the referee scored one of those rounds. Well, that is quite a challenge. Not my place. That's how it was on the scorecards. But in the end, it turned out like this. And now to say something about those scorecards. It's like Kiev in 3 days.
Hey guys, I am so incredibly excited to tell you that I actually managed to get the win. And you can write whatever you want on the scorecard.
To be perfectly honest with you, sometimes I don't even begin to understand the way the judges calculate their scores. And it seems to me that most judges, I'm not judging them, I'm just talking. We're just having a bit of a debate here about the fact that a person who's never once stepped into the ring just learned how to be a judge. There are some criteria, of course, but it's their job, they have a license, and they're doing it. Thank God it didn't come down to the scorecards. I haven't watched it yet. I haven't had a chance to sit down and watch the full fight together with the team yet. I've only managed to catch a few of the brief highlights. When we get back to camp, and when we finally get home, we'll watch exactly what happened, how it all happened, and discuss it thoroughly with the whole team, and we'll draw conclusions about why it happened, for what reasons, and keep working. We want to win every time, but sometimes it doesn't work out that way. There's always a reason. We'll find out, we'll talk to him to understand what the reason was. But it happens. You know, I like it. The philosophy of the English, the way they box at home, they don't pay any attention at all to the various things people say about them. And they truly do not seem to care at all whatsoever about the record if they don't have a 0. So he lost. Okay, why? They did the homework they needed to do and then just kept moving forward. Here, we're really fixated on some kind of idealism. Everything has to be just so, only this way, only that way. Listen, we're all human, we have emotions, we can make mistakes, things can happen this way or another way. You can't change your starting point, but you can change your finish, and not just once. And finish something you started. Let's see what My opinion is that he's having a bit of an issue with his weight, maybe up front, or maybe the weights weren't right. But you know, now it's like looking for a reason, blaming the judge, or saying the glass was wrong, or the water was off. It's like saying, this racket is getting in my way, I can't score because of it. Oh, my shoes are too tight. That's just a kind of weakness we find in ourselves, and then we start blaming something else, complaining about something else. Like, if I had a professional ball, I would have definitely scored. Let's see. Let's talk with the team. God willing, everyone's alive, on their feet, everything's fine. Actually, I think we'll come back here again. With renewed strength. We'll get to work. Give him a powerful jolt of electricity. And then that's all there is to it.
Motivation. Let's support. Him, he's one of us, and he'll have many, many victories.
It is time for us to get moving now. In the second to last fight, you especially showed that these are the last 3. All of you see might not take your place, but could get closer to the world champion. Basically, you've already offended everyone. Everyone who's here, everyone.
There are young guys, and there's Toma, the Brit. You know what's interesting? With heavyweights, the thing is, they really start to mature after 30. If it's a lightweight, they're at their peak until 30, and after that, they just cut weight. But with heavyweights, physiologically, it's a bit different. They're like fine red wine, you know? Or like cognac, gradually revealing themselves. Even at 40, he can still make a breakthrough. But there are young guys under 25 who just suddenly, there might be no one, and then bam, 1 year, and then boom, he breaks through. I think right now there are enough different guys out there. We also have many ambitious young individuals in Ukraine who are currently forging their own unique paths forward. From our side, I give you my personal word and assurance that we will continue to develop as much as we possibly can. But everything we are able to do is only one part of the equation. And they still have to dedicate an immense amount of hard work and personal effort themselves. Because, as they say, if you take two identical cars, the winner is the one sitting between the steering wheel and the seat. In other words, how you drive is how it will be. But, well, one. One isn't afraid to take a sharp turn while the other will slow down. It's the same here. A person who is moving forward must put in a lot of effort. You can lead, you can organize something, you can promote it, and everything will become well known. In our world, we have a common saying that goes, being a true master of sport on the pads at training. But sometimes they go to real competitions, and everything they practice just seems to completely fall apart. Champion of the golden middle. Things like that. But our country is truly rich in talent, in determined individuals, and in courageous fighters. If we look at the current moment, Sasha Kezniak is a super top athlete who continues to show great results. There are many young guys who are still combining the professional scene with the amateur one. In my opinion, this doesn't really work because it's a different kind of boxing, different training, different rounds, different gloves. In other words, the mentality of amateur boxing and professional boxing is different. When we were amateurs, we were often asked what the difference was. I couldn't really answer. I would answer simply, well, in amateur boxing we have 3 rounds, and in professional boxing there are 12 rounds. That's the whole difference. But the difference is incredible. Why? Historically, it also happened that here, throughout Ukraine and many other post-Soviet countries, traditional boxing was often seen as being much more about scoring points than power. So, bam bam, 3 rounds and you take notes and you win. For example, if you look at the American school of boxing, the English school of boxing, there it's more of a power boxing style, where some move around but you hit hard. And that's about muscles, that's about habit. When you always hit hard, you'll keep hitting hard. But when you focus on scoring points, you get used to that. And you need to reformat yourself a bit. And our coaches are the same. They're not geared towards professional boxing. And it's really good when a coach also starts to reformat themselves and learn. Especially now when there's an incredible amount of information, subscriptions, all sorts of things, lectures and more. But some people just don't want to do it. Like, for me, this way works and that's it. You all understand, if you compare a post-Soviet manager to a modern one, their approaches to everything are completely different. In the army, I'm talking about the army, and in life it's the same. That's it, come on, move. You're doing the same old thing and that's all. But just doing the same old thing isn't enough anymore. You need to mix it up, try something new, add another move. You have to come up with something new, because everything is moving forward and not standing still. Especially now, if before we didn't have the detailed information to learn or to see our opponent, now you can see it everywhere. You can easily see how you live, what you eat, the specific places where you go, who you go with, and how late you decide to stay out. How late you stay online or whatever else you do. In other words, everything, and we show it ourselves.
In order to study
In a very comprehensive and detailed manner. To examine and investigate thoroughly, yes. But I am absolutely certain and convinced that we will still have guys who are young now. And in the future, they will keep moving forward. And everything will be fine. But right now, it's a bit harder for the young ones. They're all just cool.
and everyone wants everything right away.
And on top of that, they actually want all the cash right away too. Oh, you know what really surprises me the most? It is when people start meticulously counting every single one of my fees. I actually enjoy it. A total of $100 million. As someone who has spent some time studying the world of business a bit and has seen these things before, everything else, I just can't understand. As a person, where, like, do you generate 100 million from, from what? I think, damn, well, if there were 100 million, that would be great. Oh, That's all, of course. And when you say, well, come join us in the AFU in the army and you'll earn just as much. Millionaires. Millionaires! But then, after 2 or 3 days, he comes back, brown in the back, yellow in the front, and says, I don't want the money. And that's it, like they say, burning through 100 bills in your pocket, right? We all obsessively keep track of the wealth of those around us, and yet we meticulously conceal our own very well. I view and perceive all of this like it is some sort of medical clinic. We are all certainly a little bit crazy, but while some people readily accept these charitable donations, others simply do not. I look at it and think, well, it's just human nature. Everyone who has a mouth talks. And everyone who has teeth bites. There's even a joke, you know. A big dog, and you come over to someone's place, and I say, hold him so I can come in, and they say, yeah, he doesn't bite. Dude, I don't know him. We're not acquainted at all. But he doesn't bite? Maybe he doesn't bite you because you feed him. But he looks at me like, aha, steak. So you hold him while I come in, and then when I'm leaving, you hold him again. That's me. Many years ago, Andrei Mikhailovich gave me an incredible dog as a gift. A German Shepherd, Gray. Yes, little Gray. He's just such a soul. He was 7 months old and I was already in Vorzel. He was about 7 months old, and we used to walk together there. It wasn't me walking him, it was my assistant. He calls me and says, we found a body. I say, who? Well, a corpse. I ask, how do you know you found him? He says, Gray found him. I say, go ahead, call the cops, let them come, and you stay there because soon they'll... He says, I've already called, I'm waiting here. I say, all right, wait, I'll make a few calls, because I realize that now the cops will take him away and they'll take my dog too. Honestly, I'm more worried about the dog. Well, that's it. Then he gave some statements, they questioned him, everything's going on, and again he's doing something with his nose. He found the phone. His or someone else's? From the deceased or someone else's? I don't know at what point, but the situation was, I said, listen, you bloodhound, just get out of there, take the dog and go, or else you'll end up finding something else. He is a remarkably powerful individual. Sometimes he carries a heavy load of approximately 40 kilograms, all contingent upon the specific nature of the work he is performing at the time. He looks at you, his eyes are kind, he's such a good boy. But when a stranger comes in, he sits in his little enclosure. I come over, talk to him, call him son, reassure him, pet him a bit, and that's it. He looks at me like that, but this one doesn't pay attention to the hand. It's just that his eyes are kind. I say, don't put your hands in there. You have to... situation. Yes, he's there with the little one. She goes to him. By the way, I have this little dog, a Spitz. He's been with us for many years now. I remember my daughter was about 6 or 7 years old, maybe younger. We bought this very Spitz. That was probably when I had already moved to Kyiv. In 2014 or 2015, we bought him. So when he's like a bottle, he climbs into his enclosure, and this one warms him up. 40 kilograms, just sitting in the corner looking at him like that. Sometimes I come out and say, Snow, what are you doing? Are you serious? What kind of discrimination is this? You're older. You were the first one, but that's not allowed. That one comes in, he has his food, this one eats the warm food, and the food is different. Then the little one gets a fever, and we give him pills there. I say, hey, are you kidding me? What is this? Hey there, guys. Listen.
Are there any more questions?
Yeah, there are.
Come on, guys, don't be shy. Anything? Shall, Mr. President?
Can you tell me exactly what happened to you? Are you alright?
No, nobody called me. I was earning money, buying things, and putting in the hard work, but now I realize I need to reformat my approach. That is to say, I am currently investing my money. I might lose something, We need to recover and reclaim something of value. I looked at it from the perspective that it would be absolutely essential, because there will be extensive reconstruction efforts, and it is something that will inevitably have to be carried out. For now, we're working, doing different things. What I like the most is that many years ago, my friend and I bought some land and made a lake. I have fish there. Yes, there is fishing and all sorts of wonderful things to do. You just come there and enjoy yourself. When I go there with my young kids, we always use hooks that are very safe, specialized sport hooks so they don't accidentally get hurt. And if I happen to catch a nice little carp, I carefully pull it out to show them and then gently release it back into the water.
For the soul, right?
Yes.
When I lived in a village in the Chernihiv region, well, that's how we lived. We caught fish, walked around the village, sold them, so we earned a living. But how did you sell them? We didn't sell them for money. You give them fish and they give you something else in return. It was a kind of barter. But often, I understand what it's like to get up at 4 in the morning, prepare the sunflower cake, get everything ready. I even made floats from those. When you find goose feathers in the field, and there are so many geese out there in the fields. An incredible amount. If you catch one somewhere, then the feather... Yes, here. No, well, there are even more lying around over there. You just pick one up, trim it, and use it. My sister used to get upset when I took her red nail polish. And I would put it on top there. Well, I had to do it secretly because no one would let me otherwise. Where could you get nail polish in the village? That nail polish, there was enough for 10 people. They would pass it from one to another. Yes, and I like the little lakes, the ponds. We also have a lake like that there. We have mud there, Sapropel. Just like in Saki. And that lake, there was a guy working with us, he was bald, and his hair grew back. I said, come on, no way. He worked there for a couple of months and swam all the time. And people there, the workers, the guys, if someone cut themselves or something, well, they were always using it for everything. He says it heals faster. I said, so go ahead, dig it up, smear it on, it's fine. Huh? The mud? Go ahead and build it now. And then just let them smear themselves all over with thick mud.
It aids recovery.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so very much. I truly appreciate it from the bottom of my heart. That is very cool. You have sent it.
Greetings. Thank you so much.
So, are there any more questions?
Regarding the issue of Lomachenko's violence, is that matter still currently unresolved at this point?
I haven't actually had a chance to talk to him about this just yet. From my perspective, it seems to me that if he truly has the desire and the inspiration for this, then that is perfectly fine. Because I understand. We talked from a psychological perspective about these defeats, the recent ones. In my opinion, they were completely unfair from the judge's point of view. They certainly have a way of breaking you down. But if he eventually decides to return to the ring, I would be absolutely thrilled to see it. Because we will all get the chance to witness some truly remarkable and world-class boxing from him.
Another question. Did you observe when Joshua came to this training camp? How was it for him, not being in Ukraine at all?
He liked it, he really liked it. It was his first time when we started working with him. I arrived at the camp, we were training, then there was a tournament planned in Ukraine, and I said, tomorrow we're going to Kyiv for a couple of days. He looked at me and said, but I haven't been to Ukraine. I said, if you want, we can go. He said, okay. I have to say this. Like I said before, I'm not stupid. I know what is going on. Okay, if you go, that's great. So we arrived at the border. When he was already crossing, the guys welcomed him warmly, and then on the way to Kyiv, when we were driving, we stopped at a gas station somewhere to refuel, maybe grab a bite to eat. And every time people, well, it's kind of funny, I go in quickly with my cap on, quickly pop into the restroom, wash my hands or something, and as I'm coming out, I hear, oh look, hey, that's Anthony. And we were still in Lviv from Lviv. When we were already leaving, we stopped by Oko, and there were some kids, some football players traveling by bus. They were either going to a game or something. Just imagine, about 20 young boys like that. Oh, look, it's Anthony. So I come out and say, hey guys, do you want some tea? I say, yes, tea. And one of them just wanted to warm up. And that was it. Well, they took some photos and that was all. They liked it. They really did. Then we went to Maidan and, well, he was asking there, for information, like what's going on. And, you could really see that he was deeply upset while reading through all those names of the young guys. He just looks up and says, damn. And all I could do was look back and say, brother, it was a heavy moment. And it wasn't just, not only our fellow Ukrainians, our own guys, but also all those international volunteers who helped us. There were all sorts of different national flags flying there. And as we walked right inside the area, there were a lot of British flags visible, and there was even some soldier standing right there on guard. He was really tall. And they started talking to him. He was either British or American, I don't remember exactly. And they started talking, and he began to learn more from him. Later, when we were driving back, he just sat there quietly, not saying a word. When we were driving there, he kept asking, what flag is that? What is this? What is that monument? And what is this and this and this? So, when we were already heading back to the camp, he decided to write a simple post. He didn't actually post anything special or flashy. It was just a plain black image with a caption like, I want to sincerely thank the Ukrainian people for welcoming me so graciously and for being so incredibly warm. I really liked it and truly appreciated the hospitality. Before that, even when we weren't as warm yet, we were already talking with him. He wanted to come and see where I live, what we eat, where I'm from. So after 2 defeats, well, where does he live? Who is he?
What do they eat?
He really liked the borscht. And when we arrived, we know how to host people. Salads, uzvar drinks, everything. They ate so much. I said, this is just the beginning. He was like, what? What do you mean? I said, no, now comes the borscht, the dumplings, everything. He says, oh, so this isn't the main course. I said, are you kidding? Of course not. This is just the beginning. Oh, wow. He liked it. They played live music. They played the cimbalom. He'll come back again. He thoroughly enjoyed every moment of it. A very well-mannered and respectful individual. So kind. Much like a child at heart who never grew up, he absolutely loves to travel everywhere. Especially since he was welcomed so warmly and kind people came up to him to talk. It seems to me, I wasn't worried about it, but they and their team were surprised by how warmly they were received. So warmly. I said, brother, most of our people are like that. Just don't try to take something that's ours and that's it. We'll treat you well. We might even give you something. Just ask or say, I like this, and here you go. But don't try to just blatantly snatch it and everything will be fine. He said, no, it's all good. I don't want to take anything. Everything's fine. Well,
So guys, let's thank Oleksandr Oleksandrovich and his team for giving us such a wonderful evening as a gift. And I think let's have everyone sign this and so on. All right?
all right, so that is all settled now. And absolutely no one is running around anymore. All right. This is exactly how it should be.
Use the microphone for the end.
Andriy, I'm sorry. I just needed a couple of...
Minutes. Yes, let's have everyone sign. But let it be done in an organized manner, visibly.